So he would argue that
They're just dumb. They just can't say, "Oh, it's every other one." Well, all they see
Is
is
the big
that they're
pile.
getting, whatever,
Yeah.
15 units versus 20. Is that what it was?
yeah,
Yeah.
15
It's a
versus
big
All they
20.
know is 20 units. Like, oh, this one gives 20 units. Just keep pecking. I don't think they're smart enough to figure that out. I think they just like keep going. Oh, there's 20. Keep going, 20. But there's
Yeah.
not a risk.
So here's what I'll tell you. He would argue, and
I don't think that you need a risk in order to take advantage of a variable ratio reinforcement system. I don't think a risk adds stakes and it makes it maybe more compelling, but I don't think that you need a risk.
and a lot of biologists would say, there's this theory called the optimal foraging theory. It says that animals will expend the least amount of energy to get the most amount of food.
Oh, I
Right?
do
So
that.
over time, they're expending a lot less energy to get
So he just explained DoorDash.
more food. And so here's where it gets interesting, though, is that to sort of bring it back to why do people fall into this? Why would someone bet their entire fortune on a roulette wheel or whatever? Is that when he will put pigeons in a sort of wild environment. So where he keeps them is in these pigeon cages where they kind of live alone. It's it's a basic cage. When he puts them in a cage that mimics the wild, so it's this giant cage that has like roosts, it's got cliffs, it's got other pigeons. It's very much like they would have to live in the wild. And then he throws them back to choose a game. They start choosing the optimal game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They're bored? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like, is it because they're gambling because they're bored? Because there are other experiments that are done. Like, for example, there was an experiment with rats, and I'm not sure if I'm quoting this right, so if I'm not, I'm just full of shit and I don't know what I'm talking about. But if I remember correctly, there was like a rat that was given like just an empty room with like nothing in it, and then 2 bottles of water, and one bottle of water was just water and the other bottle of water had drugs in it, and the rat in the empty room drank the drug water and died, and the rat in the other room with other rats and other things to do that were for rats didn't